So I'd like to take some time to go over Ustrasana Camel Pose with you all. So if you're new to the practice, you might want a blanket, especially if you have any knee injuries or knee sensitivities. So you could put your blanket on the shortest edge, right? Like unfold it a bit so that there's just a little bit of padding under the knees. Make sure it's not bunched up. If you don't have a blanket, you also could use your mat, right? So you could just fold your mat over so that now my mat is doubled up, right? So you can also have some cushion that way. So you're gonna start with some cushion under the knees. Come onto your cushion and come up onto your knees. So to start, you're going to curl the toes under. My knees are directly under my hips, so there's a little bit of separation between my legs, right? And then the toes are curled under, so just that you're balancing almost on the ball of the foot. All right, and then from here, you're gonna take your hands at your lower back. Fingertips are facing down towards the floor. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, so the shoulders are stacked on top of those knees. You're going to squeeze the elbows together so that once you do, you're broadening the collarbone. That's inviting a back bend in already, right? That might be enough for you to stop and breathe and hold that right there, right? So squeezing your elbows in towards each other. And then maybe you begin to lift your gaze and begin to inhale, lift up the sternum. Exhale, lean back as I'm pressing my hips forward and leaning back. So again, inhale, lengthen through the sternum. Exhale, lean back, press the hips forward. So you want to try to keep the hips right on top of the knees the whole time and keep pressing back, pressing forward as I'm leaning back. So this is a gradual thing. It's not like you go into it really fast. You want to every exhale go a little deeper, right? And you stop wherever you find that edge where you can't breathe any longer. When you can't find your smooth, comfortable, continuous breath, then you need to back off, right? If you're like really breathing heavily, like too much, back off a little bit. Find a space that you can hold it and breathe through it that's still in the similar space of the pose, right? So you do that. If you're a little more flexible in the vertebrae, you can always take your hands down by your ankles. Continue to lift your sternum up towards the ceiling. Continue to press your hips forward. And maybe you lean your head back, but that would be the last thing you do. Right? And then tuck your chin to chest when you're coming out. That was too quick. I do back bends a lot, so for me, it's probably not what everybody can do. But you're going to, once you're on your ankles or you found your lowest point and you've held it for about 5 breaths, you'll tuck chin to chest on your inhale and point your toes, sit back to your heels on your exhale, and just hold it there for a few breaths and rest, right? And then step 2, if you've mastered step 1 and you feel like I can go a little bit deeper, you'd want to point your toes, hands at your lower back, squeeze your elbows in. As you inhale, lift the sternum up. As you exhale, lean back, press the hips forward. So you keep going, inhale, lengthen, exhale, lean, until maybe you can reach the heels here, and then press the hips forward. Don't let it come down into the quadriceps so much. So I'm stretching out all through the front side of my body here as I'm leaning back, right? And then when you want to come out of it, you inhale, chin to chest, come out. You can always take your hands to your lower back first, and then exhale, come down. So I hope that helps you master Ustrasana. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know below and subscribe to my channel.